Why would we waste good food on you? My sister sneered at her own wedding. Just leave the gift and go home. I blinked,
Stunned.
my parents didn't even flinch. Well, maybe she should go, my dad muttered. I smiled, the kind of smile that came from somewhere deep. All right, I'll go. Then I added, but just know this, you'll all regret it. My name is Harper. Ever since I can remember, I've been able to feel things.
Deep.
Dangerous things that others can't. Not just emotions, but waves of something darker.
Anxiety.
Deception. Anger. It's not a party trick. I don't see the future, but I sense what's buried behind the smiles people wear like masks. And for that, my family treated me like I was broken. Growing up in Charleston, South Carolina, I learned quickly, being weird made you disposable. My mom, Emma, told me I had an overactive imagination. My dad, Robert, just ignored me,
Unless it was to scoff at something I said.
but it was my younger sister, Chloe, who really knew how to twist the knife. She's 3 years younger. A face made for magazine covers. A voice that turns every head in a room. I was the shadow in her perfect life. The cautionary tale. Don't let her sit near me, she whispered to Mom at school plays. She makes everything feel heavy. I stopped trying. I stopped telling them when I felt something wrong. Even when I was 8, and told Mom not to trust Dad's new coworker because I felt something was off, she waved it away. Later, that same man conned Dad into co-signing a lease that nearly cost us our house. But no one thanked me. No one apologized. I kept everything inside. Until middle school, when I warned a teacher about a substitute gym coach. I couldn't explain why, but I knew something was wrong. That teacher trusted me and caught the man trying to install a hidden camera in the girls' locker room. It was the first time someone believed me. That teacher introduced me to a woman named Olivia, his aunt, a business consultant. But Olivia wasn't ordinary either. She looked at me like she knew. And when I told her about my intuition, she didn't flinch. I've had it too, she said softly. You don't have to be afraid of it. You just have to learn how to use it. That day, my life split into before and after. Olivia became my mentor. She taught me how to channel my instincts, not just for people, but for businesses. She worked with CEOs, family companies, struggling startups. She said my gift was rare and real, and that I could help people if I learned how to manage it.
So I did.
I built a small consultancy under Olivia's guidance.
Quietly.
Anonymously. Mostly online. While my classmates were posting selfies and looking for internships, I was helping real companies recover from near collapse. But none of that mattered to my parents. When I told them I wouldn't be applying to a traditional office job after college graduation, their reactions were predictable. What kind of work-from-home nonsense is this? My dad snapped. If you're not bringing home a real paycheck, you can at least clean the house, my mom chimed in. And Chloe? She just laughed. Working from home, she said, twirling her hair. Must be nice to be unemployed in sweatpants. They had no idea I'd already helped revitalize a multi-million-dollar logistics firm. I didn't say anything. What was the point? For a year, I quietly paid rent to my parents, handled most of the housework, took client calls after midnight. I built a reputation. Word spread, slowly but surely. And Olivia began referring more serious clients my way. Then one night, Chloe burst through the door, stilettos clacking against the hardwood. I'm getting married, she announced. His name is Nathan. He's training to take over his dad's real estate development firm.
She paused.
Smirked. And no, don't ask, Harper. He's not hiring. She truly believed I was still beneath her. My parents were ecstatic. Finally, someone worthy of our Chloe, Mom beamed. I always knew she'd land a winner, Dad added. I tried to smile politely, but something inside me twisted. I'd never met Nathan, but just hearing his name, it felt like cold smoke trailing up my spine. That sensation usually meant danger. 2 weeks later, they had an engagement dinner at our house. Nathan showed up in a perfectly tailored suit, slicked back hair, flashing that manufactured charm too many people mistake for charisma. The moment I shook his hand, it hit me. Something was off. I couldn't explain it, not without sounding like the lunatic they all believed I was. But I felt it, like fog wrapped around his silhouette. Dense and manipulative. "You've been dating for 3 months?" I asked cautiously. Chloe rolled her eyes. "God, Harper. Why do you always sound like a therapist? Just say congratulations like a normal person." "I just mean, maybe don't rush into signing anything. Like a mortgage or—" "We're adults," Nathan cut in smoothly. "Don't worry. We're not asking you to contribute." I backed off.
For now.
The wedding date was set for mid-September. A luxury venue near the bay. Chloe made a big show of announcing the menu. The custom floral arrangements. The guest list filled with high-profile names. One morning, she dropped a passive-aggressive group email. Asterisk reminder. +1s are reserved for close family and VIPs. And please be sure to bring a wedding gift. No freeloaders. Asterisk. It wasn't even subtle. I was the only sibling. And I wasn't bringing anyone. I knew what was coming. Olivia noticed my tension. "Are you still going?" she asked gently. "I should. For closure, if nothing else." She placed her hand over mine. "If things go badly, asterisk, let them star. You don't need their validation. The truth has a way of rising when the lights are brightest." I didn't know exactly what she meant, but I was about to find out. The wedding day arrived. Hot and cloudless. The kind of September day where the sun made everything look perfect. Too perfect. The venue was a sprawling coastal hotel outside Savannah, Georgia. White marble floors. Blush roses. Champagne towers. The kind of place where appearances meant everything. I wore a simple navy dress. No frills. I wasn't there to be seen. I was there because I needed to watch it unfold. Because something told me this wasn't going to end the way they expected. The ceremony itself was as dramatic as Chloe had always dreamed. Live string quartet. Custom-written vows. A bridal entrance timed to a crescendo. But I wasn't watching them. I was watching him. Nathan. The way he held Chloe's hand like he owned it. The way he greeted guests slipping in names like currency. The way his eyes never once flickered to his own parents, sitting stiffly in the second row. There was something about the way he avoided their gaze that screamed calculation. After the I-dos, we were ushered into the reception hall. Everything gleamed. Gold accents. Floor-to-ceiling windows. A jazz trio playing near the bar. I found my assigned table. The furthest one from the dance floor. Near the server's entrance. Figures. I sat quietly. Others at my table introduced themselves. Distant cousins. College roommates. A former co-worker of Chloe's. And then I noticed something strange. No drinks. No hors d'oeuvres. No entree. Other tables were already being served. Glasses filled. Plates steaming. But ours? Nothing. I flagged a passing server. "Excuse me, is there a delay with our meals?" She glanced at her chart. Gave me a tight-lipped smile. "I'm sorry. I was told this table is self-managed."
What?
Before I could press her further, Chloe appeared at my side. Designer heels. Lace gown. Smiling like a pageant queen. She leaned close. Her voice a whisper laced with venom. "You didn't really think we'd waste perfectly good food on someone like you, did you?" I blinked. Stunned. "You can just leave your little gift by the door and head home. Maybe grab a bag of potato chips on the way. That's more your vibe." I opened my mouth. Nothing came out. Then Nathan strolled over.
Grinning.
Arms slung casually around her waist. "Everything okay here?" he asked, like he was addressing a waitress.
"She's leaving," Chloe said.
"Aren't you, Harper?" I looked around. Our parents were watching. My mother looked vaguely apologetic, but didn't move. My father just sipped his wine and muttered, "Well, maybe she should go." It was like a switch flipped inside me. Not rage. Not sadness. Something colder.
Clarity.
I stood slowly. Napkin falling to the floor. My voice was calm. "All right, I'll go. But just know, you'll regret this. Every
single one."
Of you. Laughter bubbled around me. Hushed gasps and whispers. What is that supposed to mean? Chloe scoffed. You think anyone here cares about your little ghost whispers and bad vibes? Then, from the head table, someone stood. A tall man in a slate gray suit. Thick glasses. Sharp posture. Care, he said. Every head turned. Chloe blinked. I'm sorry, who? I'm Mason, he said. Nathan's older brother. Nathan stiffened. Chloe's smile faltered. I've been quiet because I didn't want to ruin your day. But Harper's right. You will regret this. All of it. Silence swallowed the room. Then Mason turned toward the guests and spoke with terrifying calm. Nathan's not a company heir. Our father's company filed for bankruptcy 6 months ago. He's been unemployed ever since. And the reason he pushed for this wedding so fast? To secure your money, not bring you into ours. The entire hall gasped. What the hell are you doing? Nathan growled. What you never could, Mason said, telling the truth. Chloe turned to Nathan, voice shrill. Is this true? Is any of it real? Nathan said nothing. And the condo lease I signed last week, that you said we'd cover together. I never told you to sign anything, he muttered. Oh my God, she whispered, reeling. You let me put it in my name. My parents were pale. Mom clutched her necklace. Dad swore under his breath. Then someone else stood. From the second row of guest tables. A man in his 60s. Silver hair. Crisp suit. Enough, he said. This is already a disaster. Chloe blinked again. Mr. Cohen, the president of her company. I came here out of respect. Not for you, Chloe.
He pointed directly at me.
For her. Harper. Chloe whispered. You know him? She saved my company 6 months ago, Mr. Cohen said.
His voice steady.
At a time when we were floundering, hemorrhaging cash, days from collapse. Harper stepped in quietly, anonymously. Her insights turned everything around. He turned to the crowd. Some of you work with me. You know what state we were in. And now, well, you know why I'm here today. Chloe's face was blank. I finally spoke. 6 months ago, your company was my client. Olivia connected us. I gave you the exact restructuring plan you pitched to the board. I paused. Didn't I, Mr. Cohen? He nodded solemnly. You're the reason we're solvent. And I'll never forget that. The room erupted in murmurs. Chloe tried to laugh, but it came out as a dry wheeze.
No.
She works from home. Mr. Cohen turned to her sharply. Harper works from home because she chooses to. She doesn't need a fancy office to save companies. She just needs to be heard. Chloe took a step back. Her cheeks flushed crimson. Then the ripple of whispers became a wave. Guests muttering. Some rising from their tables. A few already heading toward the exit. Someone at the gift table asked out loud if refunds would be given. And I stood still, calm as glass. You humiliated me, I said to Chloe. For years. Today was just the final act. I paused. But I'm done playing your ghost. She didn't reply. She couldn't. Mason walked over, gently placing a hand on my shoulder. Come on. Let's get out of here. This ship's sinking. As I turned to leave, Mr. Cohen added loudly. Chloe, you'll be hearing from HR on Monday. The final music cue began to play. Too late. And too ironic. The bride was still standing, but everything around her was falling apart. I left the reception hall with Mason at my side, and the ocean breeze hitting my face like a baptism. For the first time in years, I felt clean. Like every judgment, every condescending smile, every whispered insult had finally peeled away. Behind us, the wedding was dissolving into chaos. I didn't look back. We walked to the parking lot in silence. When we reached his car, Mason leaned against the hood and turned to me. You okay? I think so, I said, almost surprised to hear myself. I should have warned you earlier, he muttered, running a hand through his hair. But I didn't think he'd actually go through with the wedding. Nathan always was slippery. You did more than enough, I said. You stood up. That's more than my own family ever did. Mason looked at me, thoughtful. I've spent most of my life cleaning up after him. But today I realized I didn't want to be part of the lie anymore. We stood in silence for another moment. The world around us had shifted. The old rules, the old hierarchy. It was all gone. And I wasn't sad. The fallout came fast. By Monday morning, the wedding was already making the rounds on social media. One of Chloe's former coworkers had posted a vague status about a bride publicly exposed, a fake CEO, and a real genius in navy blue. Screenshots, photos, fragments of video trickled out within hours. It wasn't just gossip. The business world noticed. By Wednesday, Mr. Cohen had reached out to Olivia again, asking if Harper, that is, me, would consider consulting long-term, not just one-off projects, but a deeper strategic partnership. After that wedding, he said on the call, "You've got every executive's attention in a 50-mile radius." I didn't answer right away. I needed time. For once, I had options. Chloe, on the other hand, didn't. The condo lease she'd signed was non-refundable. The luxury unit Nathan had picked out was locked under her name. And without his fabricated salary or a second income, she couldn't cover the monthly payments. She tried to break the lease. The penalty fees alone would have emptied her savings. She begged Nathan to step up. He ghosted her.
So she went to them.
To our parents. I wasn't there for the conversation. But I heard about it 2 days later when Mom called me out of the blue. "Harper, it's been a rough week," she started. Voice heavy. "That's putting it lightly," I said. "Your sister is struggling," she continued. "She's under a lot of pressure. And I know things got out of hand at the wedding, but maybe if we could all talk." "You mean help her pay the condo lease?" I cut in. Silence. "I've already helped this family more than I ever got back," I said. My voice calm. I did it quietly, willingly, because I thought that maybe, eventually, I'd be seen. Mom sighed. "You were seen. We were just overwhelmed. Your sister, my sister, humiliated me in front of 200 people. And you clapped for it." She didn't deny it. She just said, "Your dad and I are doing the best we can." "Your best was never for me," I replied. "And I'm done funding it." I hung up. By the end of the month, I'd moved into my own place. Nothing flashy, but mine. A quiet apartment with sunlight in the mornings. And room for my notebooks and whiteboards and late-night client calls. The checks started rolling in. Slowly at first. Then steady. Olivia helped set up a professional website. We launched a rebrand under my own name, Harper Strategic Insight. A month later, I was flown to New York to consult for a mid-sized retail chain on the verge of collapse. After one meeting, they extended a 6-month contract. I declined. I didn't want to be owned. Instead, I offered a one-time framework and diagnostics package. They accepted. And within 3 weeks, profits rebounded by 12%. I was finally living the life they never imagined for me. Meanwhile, Chloe's world shrank. Word of her behavior at the wedding had reached her company. Her performance reviews came under scrutiny. Projects were reassigned. Within 6 weeks, she was moved to a lower-floor office. No windows. No assistant. Just a shared cubicle and busywork. She tried to keep up appearances. But the shine was gone. Eventually, she called. I didn't pick up. She texted a week later. "I'm sorry. I need help." I stared at the message for 10 minutes. Then I replied. "Come by Friday at 4. 1 hour." When she arrived, Chloe looked smaller somehow. No designer bag. No heels. Her hair pulled back plainly. Her eyes didn't meet mine at first. "You look good," she said awkwardly. "You look tired," I replied. She exhaled. "I am." We sat at my dining table. I didn't offer coffee. "I lost everything," she admitted. "And I deserve it. But I don't know what to do. I have bills. And I can't go back home. They've stopped helping." "Welcome to my world," I said. Not unkindly. She flinched. "I get it now. How awful I was." You were always right about Nathan, about people, about everything. And I made you feel crazy for it. I didn't nod. I didn't argue. I don't need a handout, she said. I just need time. A place to sleep. I'll get a second job if I have to. I looked at her and thought of all the years she towered over me. The years she told people I was broken. The wedding. The laughter. The Chip's comment. And yet there was something else now. A fracture in the glass. An opening. I have rules, I said. Okay. You don't insult me. You don't lie. You clean up after yourself. You don't ask for money. Chloe nodded, eyes welling up. You sleep on the pull-out, I added. And you help with the groceries. She swallowed. Thank you. It's not a gift, I said. It's a choice. Yours and mine. It wasn't a miracle, but it was something. She stayed. She kept quiet. She worked hard. We didn't talk much at first, but slowly, the rhythm became less awkward. We became, if not sisters, then at least two people surviving next to each other, which was more than I'd ever expected. I stopped sending money to our parents. Chloe couldn't afford to either. Without the financial help they'd gotten used to, they struggled. They rented out the guest room to strangers. Dad picked up part-time work. Mom started selling antiques online. Funny how quickly people adjust when the free ride ends. As for me, my work took off. By spring, I had 10 active clients. I built a wait list. Olivia and I were invited to speak at a tech conference in Boston. I wore a simple navy suit and got a standing ovation. And Mason? He kept in touch. At first it was texts, then a few coffees. Then one night, he called and said, I don't know where this is going, but I'd really like to find out. With you. I smiled. Me too. Because now I knew something I never had before. I wasn't strange. I wasn't broken. I was gifted. And finally, I was choosing who got to be close enough to see it.